Welcome to another episode of the channel. I remain your host, King Prime, the most inconsistent YouTuber you'll ever find in the whole wide world. I rather live my life in real life than spend my life online. I said this in my previous video. I'm not trying to meet up to a certain standard. I'm not trying to be as fast as AI. AI can do what it wants to do, but AI still needs me to, feed it information. So, and in order for me to get information, I need isolation. I need meditation, so I can tap from the divine source within me that give it all knowledge and information, new knowledge and information. Then I can, upload to the AI. That's why I would remain inconsistent when it comes to posting on YouTube, and I hope you guys would understand, because what I'm trying to push people to connect with their human self, connect back with humanity, connect back with honor, dignity, peace, love, and the natural virtues that makes us human. So today I really don't have much to do today. And one of the reasons why I created this podcast in the first place is to be real. I'm not trying to be fake. So if I find myself in a good mood, I talk about it. If I find myself in a bad mood, I talk about it. I'm not trying to paint a certain picture to everybody. You're going to see my good side, you're going to see my bad side. This isn't a space for perfection. This is a space for vulnerability. This is a space for being real. And this is who I am. And that's what you're going to see. I'm very inconsistent when it comes to creating art. And the reason why I'm inconsistent is not because I am lazy. It's because I need time to refill and to tap. An empty drum is quite very loud, but there's no value to it. So, and I believe the things that takes more time, comes with huge results. You get. So if I keep on creating videos every single day trying to meet up, I kind of lose value and also lose the essence and also lose soul, because the content I put out ends up becoming less real, and the more it becomes less real, the more it loses its soul. And I believe any creation without a soul is just an empty. It's just a content, you understand? And I'm not trying to be in that category. I want to create genuine and connect for real. And I also want to use the opportunity to talk about a certain lesson I learned from an anime cartoon. I don't know if you all have seen this anime, Vinland Saga. It's been a very long time since I saw this anime. And one thing I do is whenever I watch movies or cartoons, I love anime. I'm a very huge anime fan. I tend to jot down lessons I learned from, from the things I watch. I don't just consume content without values. Something people think anime is just a certain kind of, it's just for children, but the lessons that come in anime are actually very, very powerful. And that's one of the reasons why I love animes, because the lessons are 100. And not just anime, I like to consume movies, even music that has lessons and that has soul and has something I can learn from, not just the sound and the noise, that just occupies my space. I try to make sure my space is occupied with something reasonable, something that pushes me forward, And so back to the lesson. There's a quote that was written in the movie. I can't remember the episode or the season, but it goes like this: if you are empty, then you can fit anything inside of you. If you are empty, you can fit anything inside of you. And I'm going to explain that shortly. Then he also says, in fact, it is better to be empty if you want to be reborn. So I want to quickly clarify, what this means to me. Yeah. The only time you need to be empty is only if you want to be reborn. For example, if you are the kind of person who is addicted to, porn, social media, weed, or addicted to something to just make you feel good, because addiction is mostly trying to escape something. And I always tell people to try to like face wherever you're trying to escape. I smoke. I'm not trying to be perfect. I smoke and I drink. But the difference is I don't smoke when I feel down. I smoke when I feel good already. I don't know if you understand. Can you give me a minute? This battery is about to die. Let me quickly like plug in. So as I was saying before, the distraction, addiction is, it's basically trying to like find an escape, and the best way to overcome addiction for me is to find out what you're trying to like run away from, and try to like face it without, wherever you're addicted to, you get. So and in the essence, that's the only reason why you need to be reborn. And to be reborn means to be empty, to detach from all your ideologies, your beliefs, and everything about you, in order to reprogram and download, new softwares from the Most High, to upgrade yourself. I think that's the reason why most people don't really evolve. They are locked into a certain mindset and they are stuck in that mindset, and they end up going around a loop, repeating the same thing and wondering why things don't work out. When you try something over and over again and it keeps yielding the same result, don't you think it's time for you to try something new? Or better still, if it's not yielding results, don't you think it's best for you to try to understand and observe why this thing isn't yielding results? What you yielding results? What you need to do next? What you need to change? What you need to try? To change the results. I know a lot of people that are still stuck in the same loop, and it's crazy because when they see me, they see me as somebody who is inconsistent, and I don't see myself that way. I just see myself as somebody who likes to try new things, who likes to evolve, because we only have one life to live, and I don't think I would want to live this life doing one thing forever, like the system wants you to do. You have to be consistent with your dream. You have to chase your dream. Try. If you fail, stand up and go again. Try. Now, if you fail and you try again, if you fail and there's no lesson learned, then what are you trying again? When you fail, the whole essence, the whole point of trying and failing is learning lessons, because the more you fail, the more you know. That's how it's supposed to be. So, but if you fail and you don't learn anything, and you go back doing the exact same thing that made you fail, bro, you are not going to have another result. You understand? So the idea of trying and failing is learning lessons from your mistakes. You get? And I evolve every single day. I've tried the mohawk. I've tried galas. What we call it, galas here in Nigeria. I've tried low cut. I've tried skin. I've shaved my beard. I've tried a lot of things. I've dyed. I've tinted my hair. And it's not because I'm confused. It's because I'm trying new things. That's the point. I'm trying new things. It feels like I've lived like 1,000 lives with this one body. That's basically how it feels for me, because I have so much experience, and a lot of people are still, still so a lot of people are in their 30s right now, and they haven't had the chance to experience half of what I've experienced. That's because I give myself the chance to explore, observe, study. I wasn't locked in with the belief that I had when I was a child, or the belief that I took from my parents. I gave myself the chance to explore, to try new things. I was very, very curious. And the process of, being curious and observing, I wasn't just blindly going into things, I was observant, And to be honest, I feel like I have a fulfilled life. If I was to go to the grave today, I would be very, very much happy. And if there is a heaven, I think I would be in the most beautiful place you can ever imagine. And that's because I had already, walked my mind because there's this saying, I think it's according to the Buddhism, that heaven is not a place. Heaven and hell is a state of mind. You understand? And that's why you can see certain people with fame and everything that you want, and they're still miserable. And then again, you see a certain family, without that don't really have much, but how they love themselves, how they take care of themselves, how they play and laugh. You feel like, bro, I want that for myself. So I'm not trying to say that money doesn't bring happiness according to my Nigerian food. We know how hard it is here in Nigeria and how important money is. What I'm trying to say is, if you don't know what makes you happy, if you don't understand the essence of real happiness, you end up making money and just going round and round and round without, feeling what true happiness feels like. And if you know what true happiness feels like and you have the money, it's a very big plus, because then you know what to do with the money. You know what really matters. So my battery finally died, and as you can see, Nepal has taken the light. This is one of those things that we face here in Nigeria, but we thank God still. And I had to do this on time before my neighbors put on their gen and the noise. So as I was saying before, the more property you have, the more problems that comes with it, because now you have to be responsible for these properties, because I feel like the whole point of living is to have, experience and explore life with full joy and happiness, and also with a clear mind. Peace of mind comes from this place. So if everything you do and everything you acquire messes with this place, I don't think there's any point trying to get it. And like I said, too much property, so much belongings messes with this place, because now you have to be responsible for all of them. You have to checkmate, you have to to be careful if somebody wants to cheat you or not, and all that, and it can be way stressful. And like I said, if you have the money and you know what genuine happiness is, you kind of enjoy the cash more. And one of the things that I have found out to give genuine happiness is having a community, having a family, having people that you can talk to and laugh and trust and play and vibe with. So the reason why I hustle, or I try to I work hard to make cash, and it's not because I want to own things or meet a certain standard or impress people or trying to to look good to people. The reason why is because I want to be able to afford things and take care of my family and people around me, and be happy with everybody, and let's just vibe. That's the point of having this money. Take care of people around and make sure they are good and everybody's happy, and so you guys can just vibe and enjoy this happiness without the distraction of having to think about food and what you don't have. So for me, if you have the money and you don't feel happy, probably you don't have people that you trust, you don't have loved ones, you feel alone. I can use an example, Justin Bieber as an example. The depression and everything, the feeling of nobody understanding you, even though you are famous, because majority of the love that comes your way when you are famous, 70% is mostly fake. It isn't real. So that's it on the money aspect and happiness. And let's come back to Vinland Saga. So you need to empty yourself if you want to be reborn, and he said, in fact, it's better to be empty if you want to be reborn. Yeah. So what it means, like I said, is if you really want to reprogram your mind, you need to let go of your past information, your past, and not try to become who you want to be. It's quite tough, but it's worth it. It takes time, and yeah, that's what it basically means. And I think I will add a little something to it. Yeah, if you are already living the life you want, if you're already at peace with yourself and everything, then I don't think you need to be reborn. I think you really if you're actually close to alignment or in alignment already, I don't think there's any point to be reborn. Because for you to be in alignment with yourself and everything around you also automatically means that you are not attached to anything or any idea or information or knowledge, which means there's always space for reprogramming. It's only people that are actually not enlightened that actually get stuck to a certain ideology and all that. So, and they're the one that really needs to be reborn, that really needs to flush out old mentalities. But then again, one thing I want to say is, no matter how much you try to, you get reborn, if you don't get to the point where you accept that each knowledge and information you have for the meantime would one day become a past, which means you need to be open for the new updates to learn. If you don't get to that point, then you will have to end up trying to be reborn every single time. But we're going to get to the point whereby you know that, okay, every information I have for the meantime is for the meantime. In the future, something else might work. This might not work any longer. So I need to be open for new opinion, not opinions. It's always good to be open to opinions, but it doesn't mean you have to take them to heart. Listen and observe and meditate on these things. Try to learn from people. Don't get too attached with your own knowledge and your own beliefs and no, this is why I believe. You won't be able to grow that way. So, and that's how I live my life. And one of the reasons why I keep telling people that I'm not a religious person, because I have opened myself to different religion and different people's belief and perspective, and listen to them and get to understand their perspective. And one thing I've got to realize is we are all serving God in different ways, different methods, and also we are serving God in the way that we experience Him. You understand? Also, in our language and in our own way, basically, is how I say it. So, I don't want to make this video too long. I think this video is getting too long already, and the battery is not really charged at the moment. And so basically, this is one of the lessons I've learned from an anime cartoon, Vinland Saga. And on the next episode, I might not be doing this. And that's what makes me inconsistent, and that's what makes me human, because as an elect of the Creator, I am gifted with so many gifts that I can create so many things, and I don't like to limit myself to one thing. I don't like to call myself, because I dance. I used to dance. I still dance, but I don't like to call myself a dancer, because I don't want to limit myself to a certain tag, because whatsoever you prophesy upon yourself is what you become. So I rather use the word an artist. I call myself an artist, which means I am allowed to create anything. I can create with words, I can create with visuals, I can create with my camera, I can create with my body. That's how I like it. Well, putting a certain tag on yourself automatically limits you and set boundaries for you. Same goes with religion. That's the reason why I don't attach myself to any religion, Christian, Muslim, or whatsoever. I'm not saying they are all bad. Every religion has its good side and its bad side, and I pick from the good side and I use it to, for myself. The most important thing for me is I love. You understand? And that's the most important thing. Actually, I think we need this love now more than ever. What's that noise? Oh, that's llama, the people that actually pack the dirt. So that's where the noise is coming from. Sorry for the distraction. So I'm surprised I actually have a lot to say, because first of all, I'm the kind of person who isn't proud of their voice. I'm always insecure about how I speak, but I don't know, lately I've been enjoying my voice, and I've been wanting to talk more. I don't know if it's weird, but this is the first time I'm talking this long, and I'm very sure if you compare this particular podcast to my old podcast, there's a lot of difference from how I speak, and how I speak feels natural. And it doesn't feel forced. So anyway, enough of me for today. Thank you for watching. If you like what I do, subscribe to the channel, like and subscribe, share, and if you resonate also, and if you have anybody who needs to hear this, also share with them. And like I said, this is a place where perfection doesn't exist. You will never see me being consistent. You never see me being perfect. That's one thing I want you to understand, and that's one thing I want you to expect from this YouTube channel. You will never see me being perfect. You never see me being consistent doing one certain thing. I'm diverse, and that's what you're going to see on this channel. So thank you once again for tuning in, and I hope to see you on the next episode, next podcast. I hope YouTube pushes this. If not, you help me push this video. We don't have to depend on the algorithm every single time. If you like what you see, please share, and namaste.